So hi everyone, this is Tejas again, and this video is basically a use case which we will be dealing on. So this use case is basically describes what CPU utilization is and how do you handle the CPU utilization if some server is getting utilization more than the required, more than the threshold value it should get on, so that it does not affect any services or application that are running on it. So what CPU utilization is? So in an environment, if the CPU utilization of a server is high for a long time, that is basically some servers and applications running on it, so that are consuming more of the CPU usage. So it will start affecting the performance of the server. That is the slow response to any new or running application for the server. For this purpose, it is essential to monitor the CPU utilizations of the servers and appropriate actions if the utilization is high for a long period. So let's get onto the server. This is the server 20.0.0.29, which we have added as a PowerShell host in the previous video. So let's get into the task manager of the server. So you can see here there's certain set of applications which are consuming the CPU. There are certain set of background process that are consuming the CPU utilization, though it's zero right now. But as soon as I get onto the server and start doing something, this utilization will increase by the number. So Windows processes which are consuming the CPU utilizations. So this is what these processes are making a CPU utilization increase more than the required. So whenever the CPU utilization of a server is found high by the monitoring tool, an alert is generated, which, if persists, is converted into a ticket. So once the ticket is created, VR will pick it up from the ticketing tool, that is ServiceNow. So ServiceNow is basically a ticketing tool that we use in most of our environment and test cases. So from the ticket, it will get the information about which server is facing the CPU utilization. We have made it. So we will get in the detail with each and every operator we have got on the workflow, like this invoke script, what exactly the script is doing, what is this custom decision is for. Like you can see in the script tab about the CPU utilization, we have kept a decision and what configuration elements we have used, and actually what certain set of parameters we have compared and list out that this process is consuming, and we can do something about it so that there are no crashing between the services. So now VR will check the CPU utilization. If the utilization is high above the threshold, it will start monitoring the server. So this is how the whole process is done. So let me just get on to the brief. So I have already told you about how do we add the PowerShell host. What are its pre-requirements? What are the pre-requirements to add PowerShell host? So I hope you have gone through the video and you know how to do those things. So because we require those things in this workflow, because we need to execute the script onto the remote server. So I will walk you through the workflow here. So first of all, we have got a scriptable task, and in this scriptable task, we have got a script which will get me to the remote console of the server. So basically, I've got input parameter external scripts, and in the external scripts I have given the path as c cputilization.ps1, whereas you can see the host is configured as the hard-coded value and my host is Win 2016 TST29. That is my 20.0.0.20.0.0.29 server. So this value is hard-coded. So in the external script c colon slash cputilization.ps1. So I will show you the script. CPU utilization. C, C CPU utilization. This is the path and this is my script. So let's see what script is. So script is basically getting the what's actual load percentage, that is the what actual the CPU utilization is going on to the server. So this will give me a value. So let me just show you how this script is running. So see CPU utilization when I run this script. So this will give me a number value like 2.5. So are you getting what I'm doing with this script? So this actually gave me the percentage of load that's got on this server, like 20.0.0.29. So uh, this is my script over here in the VRO, and this script is basically CPU utilization gets the output from the remote server into here, and I've got this output into a variable. Why do I need this output into a variable? Because I need to use it further to compare whether the amount of threshold that I have to compare this value with is more than that or less than that. So in this scriptable task, I get the script execution onto the remote server, and there the script is executed and the output is being fetched onto this statement output.getRoot object braces semicolon, and this output is being saved in the CPU utilization, and you can see the CPU utilization data type is number. And now in the custom decision, the operator which I have used have got a tab of scripting where you can write a script to get on with some set of parameters so that you can evaluate whether the something is less than that or more than that. You can compare that with certain 2-3 lines of codes. So if CPU utilization is greater than equal to 1, it will return true. That will the process will go forward. Otherwise, the process will stop right here. I hope you guys get it. So when the decision goes right up front, so here comes the configuration element. So what this scriptable task is doing. So where can just go on to that. Let me just tell you what the scriptable task will do. So this scriptable task will basically, I have created a configuration element which stores a certain set of name of the process. Let me just show you. This is my CPU configuration element tab in the design tab, and in this here you can see our folder name pages, and in this there I have created a configuration element in which the attributes you can see I have created val whose type is array string, and the values are there, 3 values are there. Basically these 3 values are the 3 processes which are basically used in any server. So in an array, I have stored all of these 3 values like svc host, spooler, zd servers, serv. So when I get this, when I fetch this basically this configuration element into my workflow right here, I got a category server.configuration element category with path. I have given the path for my folder, and for each element I have got the elements name specified as CPU utilization. So that's hitting my configuration element CPU utilization, and when that specific element is hit, it will break, and I will get the values in an array with the attributes name as val, which I have showed you in my configuration element. So I hope you guys are clear with this and are right with these things up to now. So this is array and string type. I've got this length, and for every specific number I've got a corresponding variable name. Like whenever I go to I equals to 0, I will get my svc host. When I will get to I equals to 1, so I will get spooler servers. So when I will get to 2, I will get my other config element service, which is the third name, zdserv. So this is what the script is doing. Alright, this is the JavaScript. This code will be executed right here in the JavaScript in the VRO. But what next? being done. So I hope you guys getting it, what the workflow is doing right up to here. So I have used array as a variable whose data type is even array.string. And in the next scriptable task, you can see that I have used the previous one array whose data type is string slash, array slash string. Just give me a second, guys. Yes, yeah. So you can see I have taken this array as an input, which I have fetched from this scriptable task. In this scriptable task, I am getting the elements from my configuration element into a array variable whose data type is array slash string, and this variable is basically used in the next script as an input parameter. So this is how you declare an input parameter. So this script with this input parameter will hit my server, that is the remote server 20.0.0.29. So here the host remains the same, that is 20.0.0.29. And this, see, I've got one more scriptable task here, if you can see, that is the external script. This is not the same that we have used in here. Here is the external scripts. There's a difference between the two. I hope you guys get it. So in the external scripts, the path was c colon cputilization.ps1, and the external script, the path is c colon kill process.ps1. So what is exactly the script? So let's go into the kill process. In the kill process, you can see, sorry, just a second. Yes. So here you can see I have taken that array variable as an input in here kill process.ps1. The way to declare to get the input parameter from the VRO is this. This is the exact syntax. So I've got the process. I've got the first process of the server. This script is basically doing that. And now what I will do is I will compare my each process which I get from this server. Like you can see now when I run this dollar process, sorry. So I get three processes: services, SV hosts, WMI, PRVSE. So I know that only one of my process is matching up with my configuration element, which are stored in the array variable. So array variable contain those three values which are stored in the configuration element, and what are my actual process which I use utilizing the CPU more than the required, more than the threshold. So these are those processes. So I will match each process with my array variable, all of the three, whether that matches with the variable that are stored in the configuration element, so that I can do something about it. So that if the process matches, I can just send an email to the concerned team, or I can kill the process, or I can just break the process, so that the utilization doesn't go forward. Utilization does not make any other services break or any other application crash while it's being a critical application or a critical process which are running on the server. So I will compare each of these process with all of these. So whichever the process matches, so I will just accumulate those processes in a certain variable, and I will send a mail to the concerned team that this process on that server is getting the CPU utilization more than the threshold, so that the concerned team can handle the situation, so that any other application or the process does not break, does not crash. So this is how this thing will happen in here. This is basically a small script which is being executed. So this script is being called here, and I have given the path in here, and that input parameter in the param side and on the server side, which I've taken in the param block. So this is how you pass it from the VRO. So now I will execute this workflow, and you will get to know what exactly the logs will print. Let's just validate this. Validation is successful. Congratulations. And we will run this. Let's just wait. Yes. So what is this value? What do you think this value is? Think on, guys. This value is actually the amount of percentage that the CPU has. That's the load percentage. That's the CPU utilization that's been going on. Since the server is standing right now, there's no process, no applications running on, and hard applications which are making the CPU utilization go beyond the threshold. So that's why it's 4 right now. So see, even if I do the process, run this process, and I do something about here. Um, Sorry, this is the utilization. Leave it right for now. So let me just explain you these values. So this is my load percentage. Compare CPU utilization. That is the 4. 4 greater than equal to 1. Yes. Return true. So it returns true. The workflow will move further in the right direction towards the next scriptable task. Next scriptable task, what it does, it gets the configuration elements from the configuration element that is being made with the folder name as Tejas and the configuration element named as CPU utilization. So the value is stored in array. So it will print these three values. The three values in the configuration element were SCV, host, spooler, ZDSRE. What next? Next is this double task. So what is this actually doing? So you know that we have compared, and in this comparison I have written if my value, which is the service on that server which is consuming the high utilization CPU utilization, matches with the process. So right, process consuming high utilization is this process which is currently running on the server, and write a script to kill the process. I can write here the script to kill the process, or you can handle the process how you are being told to from the concerned team about the utilization, or you can send a mail to the concerned team. So these three things you can do in here with scripting, but you should know what you are being told to. You cannot just kill the process without the prior rights or information from the concerned team, because the server is being utilized on the customer end. That's not the server you will be utilizing for yourself. That's why you cannot kill process, because that process might be a critical one which is being utilized on the client side by some other end user. Do you get that why you cannot kill the process? So this is how, and this will be printed like process consuming high utilization are SCV hosts, and write the script, this, and sending mail to the concerned team. So this is the whole process, how the CPU utilization, you can check, you can do something about it, you can get on the server, you can even kill the process, but you don't have the permission, so you don't do it most of the times, and you can send a mail regarding that to the concerned team. How you will fetch the output from the your server, remote server, to your VRO client, and you will print it here, and what values you can use from the VRO configuration element on the scriptable task, and you can store those values in some set of variables and use those variables to pass as an input onto your remote server side. So this is basically a use case. These are some of the things, these are some things you will be using day by day right now after then. So you should know how these things are achieved, how these things are done, so you can write your own logics about certain set of use case coming up. Okay guys, if any doubts please contact. Thank you.